Today is actually an episode that I had planned for the end of the year, but obviously because we weren't able to record for you guys because I was sick.
Cap, y'all. He was on a vacation. Bro. This man was all in Europe.
Europe. I've never been to Europe, so don't even try to play me. But yo, like.
Impact. 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 In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore.
And we are the Residual Impact Podcast. Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
And then apply to their communities.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Happy New Year. It is the year 2023. 2023, man. We made it.
Yes, sir. We're alive. We well. Heart is beating.
Facts. I'm still looking as handsome as ever, man. You already know how it is.
This guy.
I'm just saying, yo. I mean, I've said it in the previous episode, but I'm still looking good. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta have confidence.
Exactly. See, you feel me on that.
Gotta have confidence. I do agree.
Shout out to every single one of y'all out there that has confidence, even though you have certain haters, you know.
Hey, man, I ain't hating.
Not pointing no fingers or nothing like that.
Congratulate you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Who may want to bring you down.
We made it,
but
man.
nah, like facts. Yo, we made it, man.
Yeah, for real.
All jokes aside, you know, shout out to every single one of you guys who have made it to another year because so many people did not.
Yeah.
Man, I know I went to 2 funerals last year, so every day above ground is a blessing.
Yes, sir, for real. We gotta appreciate it, man, and make the most of each and every day.
Big facts, yo. Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. I know we've been gone for quite some time. You know, I didn't say it in the last episode that I put up because that was actually shot in the beginning of December, but pretty much for the whole month of December, yo, like I've been sick.
Cap, y'all. He was on a vacation. Bro. This man was all in Europe.
Europe. I've never been to Europe, so don't even try to play me. But yo, like, I think in the beginning of the month, man, I had the flu.
Yeah.
Because I was pretty sick, but it wasn't, you know, C-19 until it actually was.
Right.
But you know, whatever sickness I had in the beginning of the month, man, it wasn't terrible. You know, I was still going to work because I didn't test positive for C-19, and then I started feeling better. Yeah. And then, you know, the moment that you and I have discussed in previous episodes, you know, leading up to that point, it was finally upon us, man. The wedding. Yeah. Shout out to the newlyweds, man. For real, for real. That was such an eventful weekend, man. Magical, yeah, to say the least. Everything just looked beautiful. Like the wedding itself looked like something out of a winter wonderland, yo.
They did their thing, bro.
They did.
For real, man.
Big shout out to the bride and the groom, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, yo.
Thank you for allowing me to be a part of that.
And
seriously.
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah. Because that was something to witness.
Yeah, bro. Hey, you was clean, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey,
clean,
thank
brother.
you. So were you, bro.
For real, man. Thank you, brother.
Hey, we should eventually we'll get to the point to where we can dress like that more often, especially in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? Get on our Kevin Samuel swag with the suit and ties.
Nah, facts though.
Yeah,
I'm definitely step up my wardrobe game this year, man. I think that's a goal because I don't buy a lot of clothes for me personally. So
facts.
I think I want to do that, man.
Yeah, man, and I'm still wearing stuff from college. I don't really buy a lot of clothes. You know, I got to represent for GSU. You see me.
Guy.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
What is y'all record, bro? What is the record?
To be honest, I haven't been keeping up with the sports. I've just been working so much, I haven't been keeping up with the sports. But, you know, I do miss the fun times I had on campus.
Oh, yeah, man. They lit, bro. That school is crazy.
Hey,
yeah.
Remember, I brought you.
That's what I'm saying.
I brought you to campus a few times. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
I know that school is crazy, man.
It wasn't an HBCU, but for those of y'all who went, It was practically an HBCU.
Facts, bro. Like that's the first school I ever experienced. It's like it's weird. It's a part of the city, so
Yeah.
it's not. It's I don't know. It's interesting, bro. Like the campus is the city.
Yeah, because I mean, you went to FVSU.
Yeah.
Y'all have your own campus.
Yeah.
And then you went to GGC.
It's like it's on its own thing. But
Yeah,
y'all
isolated from pretty much everything.
Exactly, bro. So it's very interesting how they built that within the city. So it's cool. It's definitely cool. It's an experience. I definitely appreciate you for that.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate you for coming along for the ride because we've had some experiences on campus.
Yeah, man,
I'm not gonna,
most
say anything. You're a married man now.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
But yeah, man. Hey, with that being said, real quick, I know we didn't touch on this as soon as the episode started like we normally do, but shout out to each and every single one of you who are tapped into us right now, especially if you're watching us on YouTube. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss when we upload a new video. Also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and only the thumbs up button because we know that you are feeling us and that's how we roll for 2023.
2023.
You feel me?
Yes, sir, man.
Hey, so Mike, with that being said, man, with it being a new year, how was your week, brother?
Oh man, the week has been pretty good. Just filled with work and preparation for the year. I think that I'm still kind of getting into the swing of the year, and just trying to smile, even through ups and downs, because definitely I ain't gonna lie to you, boy, been going through some things, and I'll explain to you later. But we gonna definitely smile through it all. And
Most definitely, man.
It's only here to pass us and to make us stronger. So that's all that we gonna do.
I feel you, yo.
Let's get it.
Hopefully everything gets better, man. Definitely been throwing some prayers your way. You feel me?
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man.
No
I
doubt.
appreciate that, man. But what about you, man?
Well, it's definitely been a week of recovery because I've been out of work for like 2 weeks because I was testing positive for C19.
Yeah.
And I had to stay home. I had to isolate. I could not go back to work until I had a negative test.
Yeah.
And I finally ended up getting a negative test. So I was finally able to get back to work and not have to worry about exhausting my savings account to pay for bills and stuff like that. So, it's back to getting these checks, back to getting the money. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what my week has been. It's just been a week of recovery, a week of, feeling better now that I actually do feel better. Yeah. And man, like some people have been telling me C19 was no joke, but I mean, honestly, I didn't have it bad. I made it from when we first found out about it in 2020 to the end of 2022. I made it like 2 years plus, almost 3 years without catching it.
That's good, bro.
It is. And, fortunately, my case wasn't severe. Like I was thugging it. Yeah. Thugging it out.
I'm glad you're back healthy, man. I know that can kind of like break you down a little bit, man, for real. Like,
yeah, for real, man.
Nah, seriously, bro.
The worst part was not being able to record and not being able to edit because like I was trying to, get as much rest as possible.
Energy was probably low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, man.
I will say that was the most amount of sleep that I've had in a long time and the most amount of TV watching that I've done in a while because I was just lying down in bed, just lights off, watching TV when I wasn't eating or anything like that. But,
Hey, man, sometimes life, that's what you got to do. Sometimes God has a funny way of slowing us down. Maybe he was speaking to you saying, hey, brother, take a little break for yourself.
Yeah.
So, hey, man. Now you back to it.
I'm back to it.
Yeah, man.
Back to the grind. Let's get it going.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back healthy, though, for real.
Yeah, me too.
What we got today, though, for the people, man?
Today is actually an episode that I had planned for the end of the year, but obviously because we weren't able to record for you guys because I was sick, we didn't get to drop this before the ball dropped. So we're going to make sure that we give it out to you guys this time. This is our 2022 wrap up.
Yeah.
This was something that I actually wanted to do at the end of 2021. However, I mean, we really just started recording in August 2021, so we couldn't really do much of a wrap up because I think at the end of the year, at that time, we probably only had we could have done it. I think we ended up getting up to like 18 or 19 episodes before 2022 started.
Something like that.
So we probably could have done it, but I guess I didn't think that we could have really done it because it wasn't a full year.
Yeah. I think I can see why you can see it like that. So, yeah, it makes more sense now.
But with our first full year of podcasting behind us, full year, we wanted to bring to you guys today our top 5 moments each from recording last year. So, with that being said, man, I know me personally, my top 5 are in no particular order. So I'm just going to go from whatever I've listed. And I want to make sure that anybody who's featured in my top 5, y'all have no hard feelings, because again, this is in no particular order. We had an amazing year last year, full of, memorable episodes between the two of us, and memorable episodes with guests sitting right here in front of the camera. And it's been a blast, man. So with that being said, Mike, what would you say one of your top 5s are?
So definitely, like I said, mine's the same thing, no particular order. It was episode 27 when we had Truth and Alex on there. And first and foremost, shout out to them for stopping us, seeing us, and hopefully we can have them back one day.
Most definitely.
They're definitely doing great things. But it was a particular moment where Truth, she was talking about just peace, and how in relationships sometimes we don't get it, and we don't value it as much, and how just it was fun hearing it from a woman's perspective of how important peace is and how we should all strive for it. And I'm grateful for her. So y'all check that out.
Just off of this conversation alone, if y'all could give me one major takeaway from it that you guys have received. Truth, let's start with you. What major takeaway would you?
I'm so glad you asked, because I was like, I am not going to say it again, because I know you're going to get to the next point.
No, go ahead. It may be something that somebody really needs to hear repetitively.
I wrote it because it was like winning the war, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, we're at war, right? But we keep forgetting we're on the same side, right? Yes. So the problem is men are at war and women are at war, and we're on the opposite sides, like shooting at each other. And it's like, okay, wait. Each other is not the issue, right?
Right.
I guess maybe, I don't want to bring it all the way back to slavery, but there's residual, fighting plus, what's going on in the 70s and the drugs and bringing all that in. It's like we're at war with everyone else that's at war with us. You got to think about, how, I don't know if you ever heard of like women saying doctors treat black women like cops treat black men.
Yes.
So it is a very real thing about being systematically, separated, put at war with each other. You know how they were saying, like, during slavery, like, the women had to watch men be buck break, and then men had to watch. So it's like, okay, you're angry, I'm angry, right? Why? So that was me choosing to not be argumentative, was noticing that the man I love is at war outside. I don't want to be the headache, and I also don't want to be just docile, right? Like where I'm just like, oh, you coming in and you just angry. Okay, let's figure out how to get back to peace, right? So we're disagreeing, but why? Okay, so that's the issue. This is the issue. We're both on this side though, right? So we're both on the same side of the war. Let's figure out how to get to peace. Like I think there's a war on peace, but it's like we're both fighting the peace instead of trying to get to the peace. So it's like if we just get on the same side. I'm angry, and it's not a man's job to fix me necessarily, right? Even though I would, hope y'all would lead. It's my job to fix me, and you just want peace. Like, we both want the same thing. Yeah. So let's just figure out how to, it's okay, ladies should just be like, you're right. Like, practice, I had to practice.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Is that in the mirror?
Say it again, please. Say it again. Look into the camera.
That went over a lot of women's head right there. They weren't hearing that. Need you to run that back.
Please look into the camera and speak directly into
that
mic.
Truth. Speak it.
And if I'm honest, I didn't get to the point where I'm saying I'm wrong yet, right? I ain't gonna say I'm wrong.
Oh, that's
right.
Listen,
but the start was to say that you're right, and honestly. That comes from, like I said, having my journey with God. You know how many times I've had to apologize and I was right? God was like, but you were incorrect the way you handled it. There's a difference between right and correct. So just because you are right doesn't mean you're correct in the timing you said it, the attitude in which you said it. I was like, oh God, you know I was right. He was like, but you handled it wrong, so apologize.
I hope you guys got something valuable from that. If you weren't able to watch it when we first dropped the episode earlier last year, it was definitely a pleasure meeting both of them. Like Mike said, I'm glad they were able to stop by and record that for us and with us because we had a blast. Yes, even when the cameras weren't rolling, we had a blast.
Yes, sir.
And I will say this, though. While you guys are listening and watching, the audio is not going to be the same each clip. Reason being because the equipment obviously changed at some point last year. So the audio pre-XLR mics is going to be slightly different than what it is now that you're listening to. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully with my editing skills, I can do the best that I possibly can to kind of level out the audio levels so that it's not too bad on y'all. I'm not going to say RIP to headphone users. Hopefully you guys who are wearing headphones as you're listening to this will still be able to listen and be able to enjoy the episode at a level of consistency. Let's just say that. But yeah, starting my list, again, this is in no particular order, but one of my favorite moments from last year was when we had Flawless on the show, yo. Shout out to Flawless, man. Again, for those of y'all who don't know, he did the intro to our show. He did the intro music to our show, man.
Yeah, man.
Some of you guys have told me that it's been stuck in your head, and that man is a lyricist. So he did his job if it got stuck in your head. So shout out to Flawless.
Thank you.
Yeah, for real. Because he was our first guest, I remember we all had a laugh about this, but number one, our equipment was nowhere near what it is now. I remember I had bought a microphone to kind of help with his audio, and it didn't work with our setup at the time. So we had to improvise. And I know you guys who are listening to the audio now, you won't be able to see how we improvise unless you're watching this on YouTube. So when you're done listening to the audio, go to YouTube and make sure you watch the episode there so you can see what we're talking about. But yeah, man, because he was our very first guest, we didn't have much of a setup for the guest to work with. And that man said he was Soulja Boy because, you know, he was the very first. So we know how that goes. Check this out.
Yeah,
Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, man. Our first guest.
Yo, that. For real, the very first.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Real talk, man.
Feels good to be the first one.
Seriously.
I'm Soulja Boy.
Yo, no cap. No cap.
Man, that's what's up, man. But first off, man, if you just want to like explain to the people who you are, you know what I'm saying? Tell them something about yourself, man.
Yeah, man, I'm Flawless. If y'all don't know, I recently dropped a song called Ready As I'll Ever Be. The intro to this podcast. That's
Indeed.
your boy.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
Yes.
That is this man right here.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know what camera I'm looking into. This is so new. Please forgive me if I'm looking at whatever camera, whoever's editing this. Are you editing this one? Or you want me to?
We about to find out.
Dang. But yeah, he's on the intro, man. That was all him. So for those of y'all who keep coming up to me saying, "Yo, that stuck in my head," like who is that? That's this guy.
So, man.
I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all gave me the opportunity. I'm just glad y'all like it.
Most definitely, man. Like is an understatement for that.
Nah, facts.
That track is legendary.
That's love.
How'd you come up with it?
Honestly, I've been listening to y'all. So I just took a lot of the things that I heard from you guys, tried to apply it. You know, you guys talk about real topics here. Y'all talk about growing. Yes. You know, and obviously it's the residual impact. So got to leave an impact.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely did that too. I can most definitely say that.
Yeah. So shout out to you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
So I guess Flawless, yo, how was your week, man?
Every week is a good week for me. That you know, I try to keep honestly, you're never gonna really hear me say anything is a bad week, just because for me, I'm the type of person that when I say something, it really happens. Like if I say, oh, you know, I'm gonna find $100, I really will find $100. Not even joking.
As soon as we leave, we gonna test that out. $300 bills, please, at least three, one for each.
Oh man, so for me, for me, I'm always positive. I definitely good week, great week. You know, work is always good. You know, we're getting in the studio tonight, and we making magic.
That's what I want to hear, man.
Love that. Definitely, man. Magic is what we love to hear here on this platform, bro. So, you know, again, welcome and thank you for joining us so much, man, because this right here is history in the making.
It is. One thing I do want to ask you though, man, like this is something that I've noticed, like even from the very first track, you know, that we gave you, it's just like I noticed your creativity is very unique. So where does that creativity come from you?
Honestly, I've been doing this for a while. I've been crafting. I really like study. I study people. I study the Lil Waynes. I study the Kendrick Lamars. I study the Kanye's. And so when I hear music, I hear it in so many different ways, and I just get so many different ideas that every time I hear a new track, something it just pops up. To be honest, it sounds crazy, but music is really in my blood. And I mean, funny thing, my parents actually met through music.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's
so
dope.
yeah. So my my dad, he plays keyboard and organ and stuff, and my mom, she sings. So you know, doing that, like growing up in the church and all of that, and with them doing that, my whole life, music is just second nature to me. So
I definitely can see that now.
yeah.
Real.
Well, trust me, man, I've been seeing that because we used to collab way back in the day, like back when I was doing music. So Flawless was always like a top tier lyricist, man. Any track we had ever been on, it was just like I knew he was going, stop the show. I knew he was going to stun on anybody who was on the track. Even from the very first track we did. You remember that?
I do. That's funny. I do. No, I want to tell you this story. I've been waiting to tell you this for a long time.
Okay.
Actually. All right. So, on my last project, I used a verse from a song that me and you did together. I changed the name on it, but it's the exact same verse that I used, and the verse was so cold. I loved it from that day. But I always think of you whenever I listen to the song because I wrote it, and initially I had your name in there, and so now that song has like a special meaning to me because of the time that we put in.
Hey, that's lit.
Years ago. But yeah,
what song?
It is what song is it? Man, now I can't think. At this point, I recorded so many songs.
You did.
Yeah. Track number 9 on Life is Flawless.
And what was the original? What was the song from the original? Excuse me. What was the verse from the original song?
I don't let me lie to you.
A few moments later.
To the bottom. Think you fly.
Smartum.
Equals a problem. Speak for the college. People of knowledge. Yeah, we all got drive, but that don't mean we equal in mileage. Team full of pilots. Even the oddest people.
That was That was we shot the video. That was Takeoff. Yes.
Can't hold a monster to the bottom. Think he fly, I swat him. Me plus solo equals a problem. Speaking for the college, people of knowledge. Yeah, we all got drive, but that don't mean we equal in mileage. Team full of pilots, even the oddest people with my eyelids closed, doors never accepted. Ain't dreaming in silence. Sleep with the comments, cease with the comments, even the comment. People the king of the diamonds, believe that I'm shining. Work hard to get laid off, no trade off. You can play boss, but really I'm Adolf. Always got nights on, I never take days off. You ready? Cool, buddy. Stand back and watch a nigga take off. Watch me take off. Take off. Watch me take off. Yeah, you see the skills showing up, see the wheels going up, so you know that we about to take off.
Okay,
Take off. That's exactly what it was.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that was a good time. I love that song. I love that verse, but because that song obviously is like ancient, and it never got anybody, I had to bring that verse back to life. I had to.
Wow. Yeah, that's what's up,
hard.
man.
That's hard, man.
Yeah.
Yo, I think that was funny. It's actually reminded me that I kind of forgot about that. It's kind of dope. For real, man. Shout out to Flawless, though.
Yes, for real.
So another one of mine was episode 31, where we had Miss April B.
Shout out to April.
Definitely, like, she's just already in, like, the radio space, so I just I enjoyed her in general just because I felt like it was so organic when she was in the building. But she was talking about rejection on this one. And this is another woman who was just, she dropped some bars and some gems on us, man, and just how to handle rejection and how she personally handles rejection. So I personally thought that was really cool. So y'all check that out.
It's so much more. So much more.
So with that being said, again, this has been an amazing conversation, but yo, we can go on and on and on, and I guarantee you there will be a part 2 to this. There will definitely be a part 2 because April, this is not going to be the last time that we hear from you on the show.
I hope not. Y'all, I bugged them. When can I come? Listen, when I say shoot my shot in any aspect, I shoot my shot. If I see something that I feel like I'm compatible with and I know if we come together it's going to bring whatever, I'm going to reach out. Hey, love this. How can I get on there?
That's dope.
And
she ain't lying, because as soon as she found out I had a podcast, she was like,
oh, when can I come on? Like, so, yes.
I love it.
Yes, and, everybody should do that. If you see something that you feel like you're compatible with and, bring it, yeah, go after it. Like, say, I mean, what's the worst I was going to say? No?
right,
Okay, that's one no. Like,
there you go.
And I was just going to reach out to the next podcast, the next one after that, and after that, or, create my own. But
That's inspiration.
Yeah.
A lot of people need to hear that because a lot of people think no is the end of the world right there.
Right.
no, not at all. Like, anytime I've heard no, I just been like, at first it's hard because I'm a person that doesn't like rejection. I take rejection very hard. Like, that's why I don't plan anything. Birthday dinners and stuff, I leave that to other people because if you tell me no, I'm like, so clearly you hate me. Like, clearly you don't like me secretly and you just been waiting for this day to come.
Not secretly.
Like, but when it comes to like no's in business and things like that, or even no's in relationships or with people, to me it's just God saying like, either A, this person is not for you, or this opportunity doesn't add to the success or flourishment that I want to see for you. And I'm okay with that. And and everything, like we said, God's timing. Everything is not going to be on your time.
Right.
When you rush things, it never comes out the way it's supposed to come out.
That's true.
So just let it happen naturally. Let it flow naturally. No is not the end of the world. It's just a not right now.
Right.
And that's okay.
Amen. Amen. I love
Or
that.
maybe sometimes it's a not with you, but the with you is silent.
Oh. That too. No. I'm about to tell somebody right now on my phone, no. Like,
Speaking of, and this just came to my mind, because there's been quite a few discussions lately, and shout out to this one podcast that I stumbled upon earlier today. I believe their name is Girls Gone Viral. They had a recent episode where they talked about them shooting their shots in DMs. Pretty much like, I think one of the parts that they discussed was It Goes Down in the DM, right? We all know that song. Shout out to Yo Gotti. From a woman's perspective, or at least from your perspective, have you ever shot your shot?
absolutely.
Okay. I know you said
Absolutely.
you've done it, but I didn't know if you've actually been in somebody's DMs. And okay.
DMs in person, I don't care.
Okay.
If I see something I like, I'm going after it. Like,
There you go.
So,
I really think that more people should have that mentality. And this is
Yeah.
something I was talking to with a female friend of mine last week. It's like, yo, I feel like if women actually shot their shot more when it comes to relationships or like being with a man, I think we would have more success rates of people getting together. Because like, okay, us guys, we're more so than none used to rejection, right? Because we've been dealing with it all our lives. But I know there's a lot of brothers out there who can't handle rejection, and for y'all, I feel bad, but y'all need to step your game up. Why y'all? Come on, y'all ain't gotta
y'all
shoot
be
nobody.
acting-
Y'all ain't gotta
okay.
choke nobody. Y'all ain't gotta get
Crazy.
violent with nobody
Just
just because they
crazy,
rejected you.
'cause-
If they say no, keep it moving. There's 7 billion people on this planet. Come
okay,
on.
please say that again.
So there's 7 billion people on this
planet,
earth. Okay.
right.
So that's a lot of people. That's a ton of people. So if one says no, I'm sure there's a woman out there who will say yes, okay? But I really feel like, I understand a lot of women fear rejection just as much as a lot of men fear rejection, but it's a part of the territory. Like, it comes with the game. Like, if somebody says no, there's going to be somebody out there who says yes. So why are we so fearful of a no?
And don't go into it expecting the rejection, right? So for me, I was just telling my friend this earlier. Like, for me, when I go into a situation, in my head, I already got you. Like, there is no, like, he's gonna say no. Because why would you say no? Like, it's me, you know? And that's not on no cockiness. That's just me being confident in who I am, in my aura, in my energy, and my vibe. Like, you know? Don't go into it with the positive, and then don't take it as rejection. Like we said, like, no it's not a bad thing. It's a maybe no, not with you, but it's gonna be 50 more that come. What Gucci said. Next 15 won't coming. Yeah. Exactly. Like, you know, I feel like women should shoot their shot more anyway, because I feel like that's a level of confidence that we all
look in that camera right there and let them know.
Hey ladies, it's your girl April B, your favorite media maven, and I'm telling you right now, shoot your shot more. That's a level of confidence that men respect. Like, that level of confidence I feel like women should have. Like, men smell confidence, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if a woman walked in here now, head held high, heels held high, you know, walking in here like, y'all be like, yo, who that?
Right.
She's not lying.
She's not lying.
But if a girl came in here like,
bruh,
y'all be like, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, I need to get to the counter. Like, you know, like, because who wants to walk? And that's for women too. Like, we don't want a man that doesn't walk around. Like, I always tell my male friends, like, be exclusive. Like, walk into that room like can't nobody have access to you, because the minute you do that, all the women gonna want to have access to you. They be watching.
Like, we talked about it in the previous episode. That ring right there that you got on your finger.
That's a.
It lets them know they don't have access to you, but it makes a lot of women want that access to you.
Bruh, look, I tell you, man.
Yeah. Now, don't go out there sleeping with married men, ladies.
No, please don't do that. We won't do that.
But,
you know what I mean?
Like, but yeah, you're right. Like, just that level of confidence, it speaks volumes, and you get so much from that, you know? And I never have a bad day. I don't care if you see me out in a bonnet. There's been times where people like, oh, you wearing your bonnet out, like no man is gonna talk to you, and I done pulled 2 dudes already off my bonnet. Oh man, like, you got that bonnet on, Ma, you look so good. I look good in a bonnet. Okay, whatever. But you know, like, have that level of confidence and shoot your shot. Like, shoot your shot, ladies. Shoot. I don't care. And I say that in every opportunity, whether relationship, whether jobs, whatever. Like, if it's meant for you, it'll happen, and doesn't take away from who you are. That's another thing about rejection, right? People think it means, oh my God, there's something wrong with me, because why else would they say no? No, it's just that opportunity doesn't fit what you bring to the table. And you still bring a lot to the table. And there's going to be another opportunity that comes along that's going to say yes, because now that opportunity fits with what you've been asking for. So,
for real.
Wow. I love that. Like, I'm serious. That was perfect.
That's big facts. Like, for real. Man. I mean, confidence is king. And that's for both men and women.
Both men and women.
Yo. Again, shoot your shot, ladies.
Shoot your shot, ladies.
Mm-hmm. So definitely shout out to April on that one. Thank you so much for joining us for that episode, because that was memorable. Mm-hmm. You know, April was talking about how she is a woman, you know, definitely shoots her shot. And she encouraged a lot of other women to shoot their shot no matter what, whether it came to like a job opportunity or even with men. And I remember when we posted that clip, there were some women in the comments who were just like, absolutely not. Bruh.
Facts.
But yeah, man, hey, shout out to the women who know what they want and go for it. I mean, it's appreciated, you know, shooting your shot if you're interested in the fella. It's not, you know, it's not like we absolutely crave it. It's not like we absolutely want it. We definitely, you know, want to shoot our shot. But hey, it gives y'all a taste of your own medicine, I guess, so you can see how it feels to either be rejected or accepted. So makes the world go round.
It does.
Next on my list, I would definitely say this was a memorable moment, because the way we ran into this young lady, it was actually kind of funny. It was when we went to the Roommates Live event earlier last year, and it was me, you, and our friend Dre, and we were just walking in the lobby trying to find where the Roommates event was, and it was at the W in Atlanta. Huge place. So many events going on simultaneously. We had no idea where we were going.
Nope.
But out of nowhere, this young lady found us and was like, hey, you're going to that event too? Cool. Can I roll with y'all? Bet. Shout out to Autumn Jeanette, ladies and gentlemen. The episode title actually came from her wanting us to spice up the questions and put her in the hot seat. So, yeah, that was definitely a memorable moment for us. So check this out. Man, it's been awesome so far. Like, I have no other topics to talk about other than...
Oh, I was about to...
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, let's get into something spicy.
Okay.
The episode is not spicy enough. Let's get into some things.
What you got in mind?
I don't know. I need y'all to, like, put me in the hot seat for real. Y'all put me in the hot seat a little bit with the... sing for us or whatever, but like y'all not coming with the heat.
Oh, you want to be in the hot.
I need y'all to come with some questions.
Okay. Listen, I bet. Check this out. So I know you said you was dating a gentleman, or you have been dating a gentleman for the last 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. Now this is for all the fellas that are watching who might be interested in, getting to know you a little bit better. Are you and the young man that you been dating, are y'all serious, or is it just something like that's kind of up in the air? Is it casual? Like, what's going on?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like we're in that gray area where it's like, if it's not, I'm gonna find out real soon, because I feel like my feelings are serious, and you just can't read people's minds.
No, you can't.
So it's like, and also guys, I try to let them lead. I try to sit back. I try to be like, I'm not forcing nothing. If he wants to take it to the next level, that's on him. But I know my feelings are pretty serious, I would say.
Okay. Now, the next question would be, in that case, since y'all are in a gray area, fellas, listen up. Are your DMs open?
Oh, Lord, y'all finna get me in trouble.
You wanted the spice, so I gotta bring it.
I did want that. I'm gonna say, I don't know. I think they are open.
Got it!
But let me ask y'all this.
Okay.
At what point, if you're not in a relationship, but y'all are kind of like, it's starting to feel more serious than just, we're going on dates. Like, it feels like it's progressing. At what point do you say, even though I haven't been asked to be exclusive, when do I start to set those boundaries within myself? Because I was always taught that you don't be loyal to a single man. But I don't know if that's actually a good advice or not. And I don't know, when do y'all think you should say, I'm just going to focus on this one guy? Or should I keep dating until he brings it up and says, I don't want you to date other people?
You want me to get my take first?
Yes.
Okay. So my thoughts is, I feel like men will do only what you allow. So if you set that standard, if you put yourself in a place of like, where, okay, I'm only gonna allow you to a certain place until you show me, hey, this is how you get to that next level, then I think that's how a man will respond. But if you allow men, all the access in the world, of course, they're gonna take advantage of it, and they might not even respect you in the end as much. So my opinion, I would say you should allow him to show that he wants to step up to be in that place. If he hasn't shown, because to me, I know a man knows what he wants. Is all this, I don't know, maybe, I don't even play around with that. A man knows what he wants, and he will show you that I'm serious. Because for me, when I was in the dating game, I knew what I want. And when I went after it, it was no like, maybe not. Like, if I'm pursuing you, I'm pursuing you, and I'm going to show you that. So I think for you, it's like you have to, that man should actually show you up front, like, hey, okay, I want to be something more. I want to do something more and have something more, maybe on an exclusive level.
I want to hear your opinion, and then I'm going to comment on that.
Okay. So, Mike, I'm glad that you said all that you had to say, because I was going to say something along those lines, but in all actuality, Autumn, I would say that stuff really should have been established up front. Now, I don't know what you two have discussed, but Well, let me ask you this: Have you told him that you were looking to be a girlfriend or eventually a wife?
Yeah.
You told him that? Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being established up front, like what Mike said, you know, guys know what we like. We know what we want. You know, we know what we're looking for. We know what we want to do when it comes to dating, and we really hold the key to relationships. Like,
Y'all do.
y'all are not really gonna ask us to be boyfriend and girlfriend. You know, we have to do it. And I would say normally y'all not gonna propose, but we talked about it in a previous episode how that's becoming more and more common these days. I swear my future wife better not ask me because, man, pull out that RDC World clip.
We've been together so long, and I just wanted to know, will you marry me?
Oh my God. Bitch, why would you put me on the spot like that and challenge my manhood for everybody? Have you lost your damn mind? Oh my God, yes!
This nigga weak. But, yeah, like, if that's not discussed up front, then really a guy is going to do pretty much what you allow.
Yeah.
And at this point, since you've already kind of talked about it up front, and like, have you been throwing out hints or something? Like, have you kind of been letting it known that is
Not
what you want?
even hints. I'm not subtle at all.
Okay.
So this is the thing. Our first date, we really talked about like what we're looking for, and he said he wants a relationship.
Okay.
And you know, he's older than me, so he's more so at the point in his life where he also feels like he wants to be careful getting into a relationship because he feels like the next relationship he's in, it's like serious, you know?
That's understandable.
I want to be in a relationship. I've never been in a relationship before. I feel like, or as an adult. So I feel like we're in two completely different stages of our lives, but we kind of want similar things.
Right.
I do think now that we've been dating for like 2.5 going on 3 months, it's that weird gray area. He definitely knows where I stand. And sometimes I feel like I know where he stands. But at the same time, I also feel like, you know, he hasn't asked me. So it's like, I don't know. But just to be very candid and transparent, because that's what the podcast is for, I feel like part of the reason why it hasn't gone to that next level is because we've ran into like a few different hiccups, which aren't terrible. They're not bad things that we've gone through. Like, kind of how I was saying earlier, I feel like he's shown me a lot about myself that I need to work on, but I've also shown him a lot that he needs to work on.
Right.
And I think we're both willing to work on them for the sake of the relationship and making it a healthy, like, happy, whole relationship. But it also doesn't feel right, I would say 100%, to get into a relationship when we're still working on things.
Now, when you say hiccups, man, you said you want to get spicy, so can we get some details on
You
these?
beat me too.
I want to hear about it. I was waiting for it. When you say these hiccups, what do you mean?
I'll give you an example of something he said to me.
Okay.
One thing he told me, which I had a little bit of a clue, but I didn't really understand what he was trying to say, is he felt like I'm not reciprocating. And when we kind of had a more transparent conversation about it, he told me, you know, he feels like courting me and stuff is the right thing to do, but at a certain point, it's like he knows we're not in a relationship yet, but he doesn't want to feel like he's always chasing me. And he felt like I wasn't reciprocating energy or doing things to make him also feel loved and cared for, rather than it just being all about me.
Okay.
When he said that to me, I didn't really get what he meant by that. I thought, okay, let me be more vocal about my feelings, or let me be more affectionate. But that wasn't what he meant. What he meant, which I found out at a later conversation when he still was feeling this way, and I thought I had done more to like fix the situation. Basically, he's not wrong, because, like, for example, I've never had texted him first, because to me, and this is probably because of some internalized issues that I need to work on, but texting first is like so cringy to me. Even now that I've been trying to do it, it makes me feel so uncomfortable. It's like, it just like makes my whole body want to just be like, ugh.
Why?
I think it's because, like, you know, I do have those walls up and I do want someone to prove themselves. And it's like, I don't know, it just makes me feel like weird. And also, like I was saying earlier, I've not been in a relationship as an adult. My relationships were middle school and high school, and they weren't really real relationships.
Like puppy love kind of thing.
Yeah. Right. And my whole adult life, I've been dating. So it hasn't really gone past, I would say, more than 2 months for most people, with the exception of one person that I was in a situationship. But still, it hasn't been that serious type of dating.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've always been in the courting phase.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, okay, you said that he feels like he's not being reciprocated enough, right? And you were saying that, is it only you not reaching out to him first, or is it something more than that?
It's more. So, like, I had made a joke, like, I wouldn't cook for him or something. Yikes. Unless we're in a relationship or something.
Okay.
But I said it as a joke. And he had brought it up, and he was like, I know it was a joke, but, like, it would be nice if you cooked for me, though. Mm-hmm. Like, so that's an example. He said his love language is acts of service. Okay. So I guess just being more creative and more thoughtful, paying more attention. One thing, I'm sure y'all have probably done this too, but one thing I realized about myself, not just through dating him, but just I'm realizing it, is I don't always listen. Like, he'll tell me stuff, or my friends will tell me stuff, and it'll come up again like weeks later, and I won't remember it. But it's because I'm in my head thinking about other things, which is actually really rude. And I don't even mean to be rude, but it's like, how can you be thoughtful if you're not really paying attention?
This is true.
You know? So I'm trying to work on actively being present, kind of how you were saying, being present, being in the moment, because a lot of times I'm up here, you know? I'm thinking. I'm not really present.
You're here, but you're not here.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I can relate. I've done that before.
In what ways?
There have been ways that I've been on dates recently, and no matter what, like, I'm constantly thinking, okay, well, this is taken away from my editing, or this is like how am I gonna, be able to knock this project out that I'm working on, or like, okay, what am I gonna do when I get home? Am I gonna start this first? Or am I gonna start that? Like, it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
So whoever's out there listening or watching this, you know who you are. Don't think that I was just ignoring you, please, because I wasn't. Those were just thoughts that came into my head when we were, having some conversations.
Oh, you don't worry, you're gonna get a text later.
Man, good behind the scenes footage though. That's all it is.
Man, it's funny. Like you don't realize how far you've come until you kind of like take a step back into just looking at all these videos, man. And definitely, it was cool because we didn't know. I mean, I know she don't really care about this as much, but we didn't know she was verified. We know that. We just kind of like randomly married. She was so cool. So it was definitely dope when we found out she was verified, but she's a very humble person. She was like, she don't even care about that. So I just thought that it was a blessing to be able to get to know her. And I'm grateful that, I know this ain't what was in the clip, but how she sung for us. And
yes.
I thought that was just really cool, man. And I think we created a friendship from that. So hopefully, man, we have her on soon again. Bro.
Definitely. We got to have her back, man. We're going to chop it up with her real soon.
Yeah.
It's all about growth, man. And man, I think she was, well, technically going in order, she was like the third guest that we had, like the third feature that we had.
Yeah.
Flawless was first, and then Truth and Alex were second, and then Autumn was third. But like, to see where we started, when we started having guests on the show, to see where we are now.
Yeah. So it's funny like to even talk about guests because I mean my next one is episode 22. Before we even had guests, we didn't, I don't even think we were really thinking about guests like that then. It was just kind of me and you grinding it out.
Yeah, we didn't know when we were gonna have guests on. Like I remember I kept talking about, when we get equipment, we're gonna have guests.
Yeah.
When we finally get our equipment, we're gonna have guests. We didn't even know when the equipment was coming.
Nah, bro, and I still had that big old laptop just next to me. Y'all don't even know I had a dinosaur, bro. That mug was so slow. But yeah, man. One of the things I liked about this episode was it was just one of the information that we give was just about doing the best with what you have, and so I just want y'all to check that out.
And shout out to anybody who aspires to be like her, man. Like that just goes to show the power that a voice has, the power that a personality has, the power that a person has when you have a distinct voice, when you have a distinct personality that people can resonate with, and people like to tune into a specific network or a specific show just to watch you and listen to you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about this today mainly to discuss every single podcaster out there, especially those of y'all who tune into us on a regular basis. You guys don't realize the power that you hold, even at the level that you are right now. Whether you're a beginner, whether you're more advanced than even we are in the podcast industry, or if you're just thinking about starting a podcast, listen, no matter where you are in your process, take it to the top. No matter what you do, give it your all. And you never know. Maybe companies like Apple, maybe companies like Spotify, Google Podcasts, whoever is going to begin to have a bidding war for you and your program in the future.
That's real talk.
They already going to have one for us, and we are ready for it.
Yes, sir. Because you got to think about it, bro. I'm pretty sure when Gail first started off, she did not think that, they gonna be bidding on me one day. They're gonna be trying to fight over me to see where I'm gonna go next. Like, pretty sure she just started and just continued to perfect her craft. And hey, look where it got her.
Again, like we always say, you don't got to be great to start.
But you got to start to be great.
Message.
Shout out to Gail King, though. Let me borrow a couple dollars.
Bruh.
Shoot, Gail got more than a couple of dollars, bro. Yo, so doing the best with what we have, man, that's
a testament to what we are and what we've been doing.
That is true. I didn't even think about that.
Look at that, brother. We did the best with what we had.
Right. Like you said earlier, we weren't even thinking about guests at the time. And just to keep doing what we could at the time with what we had, that was our best at the moment.
Yeah, man.
Little did we know the best was yet to come.
And it still is coming. Like, we don't even realize, honestly, this ain't even the best yet, bro.
Yo, just imagine when we do the 2023 wrap up.
We ain't even scratched the surface yet, brother.
Yo, that's a key.
Yes, sir.
And with scratching the surface, man, this is another one that I wanted to throw out there before we even had guests on the show. This is one of my personal favorites. Like, and I know I've said that about the last two episodes that I threw out there, but this one, man, now I really took some time and did some research to cook this episode up. So it's definitely in my top 5 for a reason. And this is from episode 21, right? Where we talked about dating in 2022, which can still tie into 2023 because ain't much changed. But the entire episode was really a favorite of mine, but more so the news, where I covered certain stories about men who had been set up by women who they had just met. And the overall message of the episode was just, fellas, be careful. That's something that's also been becoming somewhat of a phenomenon, man. Like women setting men up to get them robbed or beaten or whatever the case may be, man. And it's especially more easily accessible in this internet era, this social media era.
I agree.
Because nowadays we have sites like Tinder, Black, Bumble, whatever other dating apps out there. I don't even know all the other dating apps.
I ain't even know the ones you just named.
Hey, lucky you. You ain't never had to go on one because you've been married for quite some time. Yeah. Lucky you. All right. Listen, I'm still trying to find my wife, but cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
But anyway, like these a lot of men are getting set up on these apps, yo, and not even just the apps, but you still have to look out for things like Instagram and Facebook. As an example, this whole situation with Drake, allegedly those two met on Instagram before they ever met up in person. And there's actually a few other cases that I would like to bring to the forefront and shed some light on, where these gentlemen also met these women on social media apps. Starting with this situation that I heard last year. A Bronx, New York woman used Instagram to set up two unsuspecting men in December of 2021. According to the Daily News, a woman used Instagram to lure two men into robberies in the Bronx. And they started off by saying a woman chatted up two men on Instagram, offering to hang out with them in the Bronx, but instead delivered both to a pair of masked bandits, cops said. One gullible victim was stripped of his clothing, while another was shot at during his dash to escape, police said. The first victim, 24, was tricked into meeting the woman at 11:30 p.m. on December 3rd near a contractor's office on Anthony Ave near the Cross Bronx Expressway in Claremont Village, cops said. She showed up, but so did two crooks in masks. They ordered him at gunpoint to remove his clothing and property, then stole his car, a 2018 Infiniti, and drove off. The next day, the woman convinced a 27-year-old man to meet her on a residential block in Eastchester, cops said. He showed up at about 8 p.m. and was confronted by two masked robbers who took his cell phone, coat, chain, and gold ring. The victim managed to escape with his car, but the duo opened fire on him, striking his vehicle as he fled.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Fellas, y'all gotta be careful, man. Another situation. This one regarding a 22-year-old Las Vegas woman who robbed a man in Arizona at gunpoint in December of 2021 after shooting at him 2 times while he was sleeping on the couch of a condo that he was renting. The two supposedly met on Instagram before having a romantic rendezvous in person. According to ABC 15 Arizona, a man renting a condo in the Munns Park area near Flagstaff reported to authorities that he had been staying there with 22-year-old Lily Beeler. He was apparently sleeping on the couch when he says Beeler shot at him twice, demanded property and money, and took off in a Lyft.
Be careful, be careful, be careful. It's so different too.
Yeah.
You know, when I was dating, it was everything was more face to face.
Yeah.
I don't know how this whole experience of meeting online or meeting through like social media goes, so I can't really completely get my take on it. I just would say, man, like, look, man, to me, I feel like little signs should show, as far as like when you're talking to these girls, like, you know, don't ignore them, whatever it may be. Like, whether it be like if she's trying to rush you to do something, if she's trying to press you to do something, or if she like has everything set up, like, hey, let's go here. Like, if it's too specific, hey man, like, why you want to go here? Let's go here. And say, like, if she's just like, nah, I want to go here. Like, I don't know. Just pay attention to little stuff, little details, because clearly this person has that person had an ulterior motive.
Right.
And they had a whole thing set up for them. So it's just, I don't know. To me, I feel like red flags will show, but it's going to be probably subtle. So don't ignore those. But that's tough to find or tough to see sometimes, especially if your mind is set on one thing.
And it's crazy because I'm not out the game yet. So I can tell my experience about meeting certain young women online. Mm-hmm. I've only met one woman off of a dating app. That was Tinder. But this was back in like 2016. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just went out for coffee at Starbucks. Things didn't work out. So that was cool. You know, I'm straight. Like, all right, bet. You know, it didn't work out. Let's try again. I didn't meet somebody else online until years later because I was in a relationship for the next 3 years. And the next young woman that I met, who I was, you know, starting to take somewhat seriously, we met on Instagram. That was the young lady who I said, you know, kind of peer pressured me into smashing. Mm-hmm. And it sounds weird, you know, to hear a guy say that. Like, not many guys say that they've been peer pressured into having sex with a woman. Mm-hmm. but it happens.
All right.
And typically, you know, we might get laughed at because it's like we're looked at as the ones who normally are the aggressors when it comes to sex. Mm-hmm. But we not always just trying to smash like that, especially somebody like me who understands the significance of soul ties. Like, I don't just want to be attached to anybody that way. You know what I'm saying? I like to properly vet who I'm dealing with before I do anything like that with them. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you the last time I was just smashing a woman for fun. Mm-hmm. Like, it had to be my early 20s. Like, and that was a decade ago, man.
Mm-hmm. That's real talk.
So, the last young lady that I met online, who I was dealing with, we met on Instagram. And the first time we met up, you know, I had planned a whole date, whatever. Like I said, you know, this is where we're going to meet. We're going to eat, you know, do this, whatever. She wanted to change the plans. And, you know, in my head, I was thinking like, what if this could be a setup? You know, it was a potential thought. I didn't know if this young woman would try to set me up or not, but it was just something that had crossed my mind. So I'm like, no, let's just stick to the plans that I initially had, right? Because you just never know. You really never know. Maybe, you know, fortunately, it turned out that she wasn't trying to set me up. You know, we've gone out multiple times even after that. So things were cool. But let's just say, hypothetically, if she was the type to set me up and was like, okay, instead of meeting here where you initially planned to have us meet, let's meet here instead. And I just went along with it. Next thing you know, I'm at her place, or not her place, but the place of her choosing, the time of her choosing. And then I'm met by some dudes wearing masks demanding me to, you know, have me take my chain off, my watch off, whatever. Mm-hmm. I ain't for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't welcome that kind of energy in my life. Like, I'm not trying to get set up. And it's crazy. Like, it just blows my mind, man. Like, these dudes out here, either they're looking to have fun or they're looking for something serious with a woman, and they're getting set up.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that stuff like this doesn't happen to women, right? So, again, for any ladies out there who are thinking like, oh, well, it happens to women too, whatever. Okay, I understand that. But like I said before, this episode is solely focused on men. It's solely focused on what the young men out there can learn that they may not have never learned from an older gentleman or older sibling or their parents or whatever. It's really dangerous out here in these streets. And we will have an episode dedicated to women and the dangers of dating as a young woman. But as far as I know, neither one of us are young women. So we can't really speak too much on women's experiences. So we would love to at least have a woman on the show so that she can speak to the experiences of dating as a young woman.
You said something that made me just think. All these men in this situation, of course, none of it is good at what happened to them. We don't ever want to see that. But I also think about, I believe that nothing happens by coincidence. Mm-hmm. Basically, I guess my point is to just say, you know, make sure that you as a man, that you are doing right up front. Because typically in life, things have a way of coming back to you.
Right.
So I don't know what these men were doing prior to women or anyone in their life as far as the way they treat them, the way they were living their life, that would cause something like this to come back on them. Now, I'm not saying things don't just happen. Like, you know, there's situations, like you said, like somebody was, you know, they shot at you, right?
Yeah.
Prior to that, you wasn't going out there shooting up the block. No. So, yes, I understand things like that happen. But I'm also not going to negate the fact that sometimes, the energy that you put out, it has a way of finding its way back to you.
Message.
So just be careful at the way you have treated people or treated women or done anything before, because some of these situations could come to you in a way that, you know, life has a funny way of acting. So just be careful. But also, you know, like we said, you know, make sure that you're taking your time with these women, man. Like, I don't know, dude, like really talking and trying to get to know a woman. I think that's what kept me from being in some of these situations. I really wanted to get to know who you were. Right. Like, let me find out about you. Let's talk. Like, let's really talk. And I always took my time. I was never really the guy that, like, I'm just trying to smash. Nah, like, I want to get to know you. 9 times out of 10, you was probably gonna want to smash me before I want to smash you.
Hey,
And that was just on real talk.
that's
like
the attitude they have right there, fellas. You know what I'm saying?
that was just real talk. Like, you typically 9 times out of 10, the girl was ready to have relations with me before I was with them. Not saying it didn't cross my mind, but I was never like, man, hurry up, let me get to. Nah, bro. It's like, you gonna want me before I really want you. And that ultimately, made me see who was really about me, and it showed me the same about her.
That right there, man. And a lot of people believe in karma. Like, that is something serious that I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
It's like the saying, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Amen.
And you never know what these fellas might have done unto other people to really welcome that energy onto them.
I'm saying, brother, you don't know. So you got to be careful.
Wow. Yeah, that made me look at things in a different light, yo.
You just never know. Now, we don't know in these brothers' cases, but hey, come on now. Just let's think. Yo, first and foremost, man, I just want to say thank you to everybody that has been watching thus far. It makes me want to cry because without y'all, I don't know how long we will be doing this.
Right.
It wouldn't make as much sense. So, this just warms my heart to just go back in time. It's like a time machine.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It is.
You don't realize how far we've come sometimes, bro. I know I said that again, but yeah.
Yo, but speaking of, man, it's just like I saw a post from David Shands not too long ago about how most podcasters don't even make it to episode 50.
Yeah.
This is 49.
I remember somebody saying something about 25. Like, they don't even get past 25 episodes. So
People don't even make it past episode 3.
Dang.
Or even 10.
Or even 1. Nah, just let me stop. That's being dramatic.
But yo, some people don't even make it past episode 3. Like, they'll do their first 2 and be like, well, people ain't really tuning in. I'm not getting the views or the numbers that I think I should be getting. It's all about the consistency. It's all about your persistence. It's all about just pushing, man. You never know.
You get better with the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely true.
So definitely, man. Thank you.
Thank you. So my next one is from I believe it's episode 38. This was one of the ones too where we were still back at my place, and we were young in the game, man, but we were still pushing and still giving out wisdom. It's not necessarily something that was a guesser and saying. It was just us chopping it up, bro, about life, and it was about work-life balance and how it is necessary. So y'all check that out.
What's been going on, brother? How's your week been?
This week has actually been really good, man. I've found somewhat of a balance between let me not say I found it, but I'm finding a work-life balance. So I'm not having to work super long days anymore. It's like now it's more structured. Like, I can kind of get into what I need to do, and I come back and rest, and I go do some more work and come back and rest. And now it's starting to be a little bit more of a balance. So it's kind of like what I've asked for, and, just embracing it and being grateful each and every day, man.
I dig that.
Yeah, man. How about you?
It's funny that you mention that, man, work-life balance, because I've actually been experiencing the same thing this week, yo. Kind of been talking to my supervisors because things have been kind of light at work, because just a few weeks ago, things were extremely heavy and hectic. We had so much to do at the job, and things have just kind of like calmed down, slowed down. I guess people are, focusing on back to school for the kiddos, you know what I'm saying? So they're not really in a frenzy as far as ordering goes, so I don't have as much to process at the warehouse or deliver out to houses. So, I'm working on my own work-life balance to where I'm not working as much as I normally do, and then I get to kind of have the time to not only rest, but really focus on this podcast so we can get back to a level of consistency, so that we're not having to worry about telling people like, oh, some of the stuff that you may hear in this episode might be a little outdated. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we want to get back to that, and that work-life balance is definitely helping me to pretty much return to that state of consistency with the podcast. So, yeah, man, that's my week in a nutshell. Just work, life, and balance.
Yes, sir. You need it, man. It's definitely important on this journey to I think we all trying to hustle and get to a place of wealth to where we don't have to work as hard, but in the process of doing so, I think it's important that we take care of ourselves and,
of course,
find that happiness, that piece of happiness that, you know, lets us know, okay, this is why I'm doing this. And,
Right.
You know, have a balance, man.
You got to, man. Listen, because you can't just work, and not
enjoy the fruits of your labor.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people work so hard and so many hours, and they can't even really enjoy their paychecks because they can't really travel much. They, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain jobs will only give you a certain amount of hours of vacation time, paid vacation time a year.
Yep.
And then once you go over that, some of them will be like, oh, well, you've already ran out of your time. Like, why are you taking more trips? Because I want to, because I need to get out of here. I can't be here all year. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's something I need to do. I need to take a vacation. I haven't taken a vacation in a while.
Same here. Yeah. I think the last time I went anywhere, the last time I went somewhere was when I went out of town for a funeral back in April.
Man, that ain't count as
it
vacation.
Don't.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the last time I just went anywhere. Yeah. And then before that was the time you and I went to Alabama.
Bruh. That one definitely wasn't no vacation.
Exactly.
We made some money, though.
We did. We definitely did. So that just goes to show how badly I need a vacation. I don't really get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts. I think mine's it's been a year now since I went on a vacation. That was Vegas. Last other time I really took off 5 days straight was when I actually had COVID. That was it.
Oh my God!
Wow. That definitely wasn't no vacation.
No,
but
no, not at all.
That was time off though.
Was it paid time off?
No, it definitely wasn't paid time off. But I'm definitely saving that up though for something. I'm gonna do something. I really want to do a cruise. Cruises to me are the best way to just get away.
Yeah, that'd be lit.
You don't have no phone. Well, you can use your phone, but you don't really have a lot of service. Mm-hmm. All the food, all the drinks, fun. You know, I like to be in that casino. But other than that, man, I just want to get away, man. I think it's relaxing.
You know, I've never been on a cruise before.
Dude, you should go. You really should go. Seriously. I think you should have like a lady friend with you.
That's the thing that I've been thinking about lately. Is like if I want to go, if I go on a cruise, I don't want to go with my mother. Yeah. I don't want to go with my siblings. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to go with my boys. Right. If I had to, then sure I would. But I want, you know what I'm saying? I want a vacation. You know what I'm saying? On a cruise. Yeah. But I don't have a babe right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking the application.
I definitely would say if you can't go with your girl, definitely bring your boys, because that you can still have fun with them too. Yeah. You know, especially if all of y'all are single too, you're definitely gonna have a pick of women and just a lot of people that want to have fun and just party and different things like that on the ship, man. And yeah, I definitely think it's worth it. You'll have a time of your life, bro. Seriously, we gotta make that happen for you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, first things first, I definitely want to just make sure I go out of the country and get my passport stamped up.
Yes.
So I don't know if I want to do a cruise out of the country or if I just want to fly somewhere out of the country, because I don't really want to spend all that time on the water for my first experience out the country.
You know, but I would say the reason why you should try it, and this is why I promote cruises so much, is because...
Are they paying us?
I mean, okay,
you didn't say no name, so you're right. Never mind, continue.
Cruises in general, you can see more than one place for one trip. Versus if you were to go fly somewhere, normally you're just flying to that one destination. With a cruise, you get to be in one place for a day or so, then you go into another place, then another place. So it's like you get to experience multiple places through one trip.
Okay.
That'd be the benefit, I say.
All right, well, hey, I'll definitely look into it, man, because I need to get away, like, for real.
Thanks, man.
And after I spend all this money on what we just talked about before we even started, then I'll go ahead and start getting cruise ready.
Almost definitely, bro. We're going to make that happen, man.
Work-life balance is certainly necessary, my friend, and I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, definitely enjoyed that clip, because that was returning to our roots.
We still learning, too.
Because normally we record here, and you guys see where we've been, at least since episode 26. And again, we're at 49 right now, so we've been recording here for a while, but you know, we definitely had to return back to our roots and record in a space that was familiar to us at the very beginning. And if you guys were sticking with us since the very beginning, you know that we have been recording at home. So, no cap. Speaking of, you know, recording and moving on up in our journey, man. This next clip that I want to introduce is one that I know we've referenced in a previous episode after we shot this initial episode that I'm about to throw out there, but this is one of my homies, man. Somebody who we decided to bring onto the show just to chop it up with him because we've been meaning to collab with him for a little while. So shout out to Sean Anderson, man. This is from episode 30.
Man, first and foremost, let me say this before we show the clip. This brother inspired us. Well, he definitely inspired me when he brought them box lights, dog. I mean, I know y'all don't see a lot of y'all that's maybe listening and that's not watching, but he taught me about box lights, and it was just like, it just shows you like how we continue to process on, and he brought something to us that we didn't even know we needed, and then we got it, and now it's like, yo, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just a part of the process. Shout out to that brother.
Shout out to Sean, man.
For real.
But definitely this particular clip right here, he spoke about escapism and how, well, just check this out.
I mean, as an artist, I need social media. As an entrepreneur, I need social media to market myself. But outside of marketing myself, you're not going to see me post anything else. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to post like the hottest meme or celebrity gossip or, this person is getting into an altercation with. I don't care about that. That's ain't nothing but escapism. Yeah. It's escaping your reality so you don't have to deal with it. Like, just deal with your reality, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I guess, like, all that to say is like, I can't speak on Will Smith. I don't know what he got going. I'm sure there is some type of trauma there. But I know, like, me personally, I do have certain traumas that I know I may need therapy for. You know what I'm saying? And just, like, having safe spaces like this cultivated to where we can, like, come together and talk about that I should, like, I don't really know. I just met Tony today, you know what I'm saying? Right. I feel like we do need those safe havens to where we could, like, I could open up to him. Yeah. And he feels like, you know what I'm saying, like, I can't, that resonates with me in some kind of way, because he may be, I don't know what he's going through. You know what I mean? You don't know what nobody's going through, but just all that to say is like, yeah, we do need more, like, safe spaces cultivated for, like, black men to come together and talk about their traumas, you know what I mean?
That's real talk.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that. I was going to bring that up a little later in the episode.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
No, you good. Like, Mike did ask for solutions. Like, y'all both asked for solutions, and I think that is definitely an important solution.
Facts.
I think about how us as black men, we don't really have many safe spaces, and I can't really think of too many off the top of my head, but I know one safe space typically for black men is a barbershop.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know,
absolutely.
It's like we're all there. We all get cuts, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. I look like I need a cut right now because I do.
Same.
Don't judge me. Judge yourself. Right? But other than that, man, whenever I'm in the barbershop, like, I'll be chopping it up with the barbers, and we all have great conversation. Other customers that I don't even know from Joe Blow off the block, you know what I'm saying? I don't know these guys, but we all in there having great conversations that we can relate to, laughing, music blasting. And the barbershop I go to is ran by a 50-something-year-old gentleman. So, I mean, if it's not like today's hits playing, he got, some classic hits playing. And it's just like, yo, the song takes me back, and I wasn't even born yet. But I remember Grandma and Granddad used to play this on Saturday mornings and stuff like that. And we would just chop it up over stuff like that. And it just feels good. And it's just like, you're in an area with your peers, and you can have great, genuine conversation and get a great, like, release. You can get a lot of stuff off your chest without being judged.
Right, exactly.
And I think that that's something that we need as black men in general, because I even think about a lot of spaces like this, like podcasts. Oh my gosh, there's so many, especially ladies, do not take offense to this, because I know this is not all of y'all, but there's so many women out there who have negative connotations regarding men on podcasts.
Man, this is one girl I used to talk to. She was like, and another thing I'm getting tired of is men with podcasts. I'm like, why though?
Right.
But they feel like, from what I've been hearing, you know what I'm saying, they feel like we, we come up with certain biases against them that they have issues with, which, I'm sure, there are certain podcasts that talk about, like, different things, but it can't be that bad, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's the first thing they think about.
They think about what?
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah. Man, I ain't gonna cap. Like, I don't really, bro. When I tell you I don't be on social media, I don't be on social media. So I know who that is, but I've never seen a video from him. Like, his name keeps coming up. So gonna have to tap in. You know,
and
what
it's
I'm
by
saying?
design
Yeah,
too.
I'm
And I
not
had this
privy,
conversation with a young lady yesterday. She brought up Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
She wasn't talking negatively about him. I guess from the conversation that we had, she was kind of like on the fence about him. Like she knows he spits the truth for the most part, but you know we agreed that we don't agree with everything that he says, which you shouldn't. Like why agree with every single thing?
Right.
But one thing that I brought up in the conversation was, okay, guess who most of his following is?
Women.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's women.
Okay, so like, how did it get there though? Because like I said, I don't follow him. How did he build up this women rapport or like this following?
I think it came from kind of the negative. Like it was
Yes.
just the way he would talk to women. He would tell them honestly. It was a lot of truth, but it was a lot of like stuff that sometimes us as men we tiptoe around. Like for instance, if you talk about a woman, like if a woman's big, he gonna straight up tell you ain't got no man because you big. Like
That's what that like him.
like
okay.
just like that.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
and that sparked a lot
I
of
respect
conversation.
that. I respect that.
And that's the thing, though, because he was like, "Oh, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off."
you good. You good.
I was gonna say because for 3 years when he started his channel, he's been talking to men for years.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was talking to us for years, and see, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that he was talking to men for years, and you know how we talk to each other, especially how we were raised. People talk to us a certain way. Everybody's straightforward with us. A lot of people don't care about how they say what they say to us because you're a man. You're supposed to eat that. You're supposed to take it. Go do some push-ups or something. Don't cry about it. Like toughen up. That's what we're expected to do. So anybody like who whether it's our parents, our family, whatever, even from little boys, man, they would talk to us a certain way. But women have never really received that same treatment. Like Mike said, you would tiptoe around certain things when talking to women, and they've gotten that treatment for the most part. Maybe not all women. I can't speak on all of y'all. But for the most part, they've gotten that treatment since they were little girls. They've always been treated like princesses. So the way that you speak to them is a certain way. And like how Mike said, instead of saying fat, he said big. Which there's nothing wrong with that, right? But Kevin's gonna tell you like how it is. The same way he talked to us men is the same way he talked to them. He's just spitting the truth. And that right there, it just sparked like so many people, mostly women, but just coming after him and was like, how dare you talk to women that way? You must hate black women. You must hate your mama, blah, blah, blah. Like,
we need to figure out how to become on one accord, like, because in life, the man and woman energy needs to, experience some type of duality. You feel me? Like we have to come together. Yeah. It can't keep being this toxic and hostile situations, in my opinion. So there has to be some type of solution for that as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
They need to let their guard down. They need to, and it's also like I remember
be more submissive.
Yeah. That's a tough word.
But it's true.
It's
it
very
is true.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No. You're good. You're good because
I hear that a lot.
I hear that a lot too. And like I was talking to a friend of mine, and like we had a pretty good conversation. It was pretty open, and she was talking about how like with guys, I don't want to put her business out there. Talking about a specific person or whatever, right? And talking about why he can't, open up to her and stuff like that, right? And it just has me thinking about like, because in that certain situation, I'm thinking about myself as well because I tend to struggle with like opening up, even with like people who are close to me. Like I'm just now like getting to that point, and like it's a risk, and I'm learning that you have to just take that risk, when it comes to like opening up to somebody, being transparent and just opening up that boundary, and that's what a lot of people don't want to do. And when it comes to men and women, black men and black women, we don't want to open up to this person because we don't know. We think they're gonna hurt us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, especially all the trauma that we're going through, and all the other trauma you hear from other people, and like you'll put that on somebody else, and it's just like I don't know. Like because I tend to like just. I'm about to start something, with this person, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking about my past. I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen here. I'm like, nah. I see some red flag. I don't know. I'm out. And it's like not everybody is perfect, you know what I'm saying? But that's one thing with the whole duality thing. It's like we can't mesh together because there's too much fire and ice going on. Too much like name calling. Not enough. Self-evaluating. Like what do I need to do to because everyone wants to take, nobody wants to give. You know what I'm saying?
That's it right there. That is exactly it right there. and even this is what I'm hearing from a lot of our women, right? When it comes to submission, first, there's a ton of women out there who just hear the word submission and they think it's such a negative word. And even when you brought it up, or when both of y'all brought it up, Tony, I know you're like, that's a tough word.
Yeah.
It kind of is because of the conversation that usually comes after the word submissive is brought up, right?
Yeah.
That conversation right there is typically not a good one.
Yeah.
But we need to change that. And from what I'm hearing from a lot of our women is they're not submitting because of us. Because a lot of us don't know how to lead. So because a lot of us do not know how to lead, there's not really many of us for them to submit to. And I can see that. I can definitely see that. And, that's why I'm glad that we're here talking about this conversation today, because really, there's a lot of brothers out there that just be on some craziness, man. It's like,
that's no fact.
Yeah, they don't want to submit to that.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, there was a thread online that I saw. It was on Instagram, but it was from Twitter about how a lot of these men were coming after women, sending them outlandish text messages. And when I read through some of that stuff, and y'all seen it, it just blew my mind, Like,
this is one girl I follow on Instagram, and she be posting like questions and stuff, and she was like, "What's the most craziest thing that a man has sent you?" And like, bro, it was just unreal. Like, bro, just the responses and like genitals and you know what I mean? For real, bro. Like,
it's like this TikTok. I don't know if y'all remember this TikTok.
What's going on with the community, bro?
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the TikTok, but
getting straight to
somebody was just
like, I ain't mean it.
No, you're good. It's real. It's absolutely real. But it was like dating in 2021 be like, oh, so what's your favorite color? Red. What's the color of your nipples? Like what?
Yeah, like, there's no chill now. Like we trying to get straight to it now.
Yeah.
Like we just nothing real can be cultivated that way.
But back to Mike's point from earlier, man, Sean definitely inspired us with the box lights, and as soon as that episode wrapped up. After Sean packed up the lights, man, I remember, I think the next episode or two, this man came walking in the building, walking different.
Week, bro. Just like, yo, we got to get them, bro. Let's get it, man. And then that's like to just encourage us to keep going and growing up equipment, bro. And it's only the start, for real.
Y'all will see the evolution. Exactly. It comes with time.
Yeah. Speaking of evolution, this next one, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was a little worried about us after this one. I thought that they might try to come and get us. I ain't gonna lie to you. We gotta watch out what we'll be saying. I'm just joking, but or am I? I don't know. But the next one was episode 45. We were talking about just kind of watching what we listening to and how the importance of just music and certain things in the industry, and we gotta be careful. Because we don't know what the plan is or how much of an effect it may have on our life. So y'all check this out. It's just what we put our values on, bro. I think that I love hip hop. I love hip hop. But at the same time, too, hip hop has also been, it took a turn and it just put our focus on the wrong stuff. And I think that's been a problem. And it's been pushed to us so much that, we consume it and we don't realize what we're digesting, bro. And our lives look a lot like what these videos are talking about. And we're not really, I don't know. It's just, you don't really hear talk about what's important. But going back to our friend Ye, I will say this, though he has said a lot of outlandish things. One thing about Ye, in the midst of everything, he be talking some real. He be saying some stuff like, yo, we need to own land. These companies and stuff like that, they pushing, effing somebody girl instead of going to buying you a property or something like that.
Right.
So he talk about certain things, and it's just unfortunate that it's overshadowed by every bad thing that he's saying.
That's true.
But yeah.
So, I mean, I love hip hop too, man. I grew up listening to it, so I understand, to this day, I still listen to it every once in a while. But lately, as I've been reading more books, I've been diving into podcasts more. I'm listening to people, who motivate me, who inspire me, who help me think differently than what I used to think. Because if you think about it, one of the easiest ways for somebody to learn something is to learn it from a child. Because once you're a child, well, not once, maybe we were all children at one point, but when you're a child, you soak up knowledge like a sponge.
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember the quote exactly, but Hitler once said a quote about like, give me a nation's children, and
I don't talk about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, he was pretty much just talking about just training kids
as a child. Yep.
You know, training kids to think a certain way because again, they soak up knowledge like a sponge, and he'll control the future. Something like that.
He knew by a certain if he got him at a certain age, he knew by a certain age when they got there, he knew he had them. Right. Much. He knew he had their mind because he's like, if you get their minds, you got them.
So think about it this way: so many of us have been listening to hip hop since we were kids.
Yeah.
So many of and the formula has not really changed since the birth of hip hop.
If anything, it's gotten worse.
Right.
If anything, because you got to think about it. When we started listening to hip hop, you might get a KRS-One in there here and there, right?
That's true.
You know what I mean? KRS-One gonna drop some knowledge on you.
That's true.
But nowadays, you don't really. We have J. Cole. You know, we do have some conscious rappers, but you don't hear as much of that conscious rap anymore. It's about effing somebody's girl or pulling up in a Benz. You know.
Yeah, being FNF.
Yeah,
and y'all know what FNF means. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta break that down.
Exactly. Or even the worst, which is now it's a lot of, I don't want to say the word, hurting people. Basically, that's you hear that a lot. So it's the formula has been pushed to us, and you know we can't put it all on these record labels, but of course they don't mind pushing it out to us. It is something about the hurting of us as black people that these big companies don't mind pushing out versus if we talking about financial literacy or things like that it might not get as much love as something else. So
shit, I don't think that will really get any love unless it's leaked and you have people like us to kind of like really push it, be like, listen, this is the future, this is where we need to go. Yeah. But the way that somebody explained it to me when I was in college, because I remember, you know, I used to want to rap when I was, you know, 18, 19, 20. And my music was more like conscious, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I would always like fight for conscious music to come back. And that was kind of like around the time where Soulja Boy first came out and, you know, them Franchise Boys was popping, D4L, you know, all of that was playing. Laffy Taffy, Crank this, Crank that, like all of that. One girl, when I went to college, one girl told me, she was like, well, when you go to a club, just think about it. Who want to sit around and listen to conscious rap all day? You can't twerk to that. You can't dance to that. Yeah. And from that moment on, she kind of shut me up with that because it's like, you're right. When you go to a club, ain't nobody anymore, really. Like people probably used to do it in like the 80s and maybe even the early 90s, dance to conscious rap and stuff like that because the beat was bopping or something like that. But you know what I'm saying? You listen to a lot of the songs now, all we care about is that it has a fly 808 behind it, and we're just so focused on the beat, we're not even thinking about the lyrics, and the lyrics stay in our minds subconsciously to where even if we hear a song enough times, if we hate the song, we know the lyrics because it's played so much around us. Yeah. But when you're in the club, you don't want to have to worry about listening to lyrics or thinking about what the lyrics say or thinking about what an artist was trying to convey by listening to the lyrics. You just want to hear the beat. Yo, shake that thing, you know, back it, like twerk. That's all people are focused on. And I get it. Yeah. But damn, is that all we want to listen to?
But then to me, that goes back right into the music industry. Like, as a businessman, right? If I know I'm giving out the product of this music that I know is going to gear people towards something, right? Now, I know, okay, I've already signed this artist who I know has to put out all this type of music. As another businessman, I know, hey, that music has to go to the club now. So now we're going to get some more people to listen to it. They, like you say, they ain't going to want to listen to no conscious stuff. So let's push out some more of this garbage. Hey, as a business owner in a club, hey, let's play this. We're going to get that. So it's kind of like a whole thing. Like, they know what they're doing in a sense.
To the point to where people hear it in the club enough, they want to request it on the radio.
Bro, now you're hearing it at least throughout the day, maybe 4 or 5 times, depending on a certain song. So, look, brother, I think it's all a collective game, unfortunately, bro.
Bro, because if I tell you how many times I would turn on the radio in the summertime and hear Super Gremlin.
Oh, yeah, bro.
I can't stand that song. I cannot stand it. Yep. I'll be the first to tell you, hey, I'm not a fan of Kodak Black, but I definitely can't stand Super Gremlin because of what it represents. And every time I cut on the radio, Super Gremlin would be playing.
Yeah, and we're not really, honestly, people aren't really worried about the words, bro, half the time, dog. Because if you really were to write a lot of these words down on a paper about you hurting somebody, it'll be like, what? This don't match my life at all, bro.
Right.
But we don't think about that. Just gotta catch a beat behind it. So yeah, man. I like I said, I was a little worried about that when giving out that information, but I do think that was something that was beneficial because we all know the music industry is very interesting, and
to say the least,
music is extremely influential and powerful. So I think that it definitely brought some stuff to our attention that maybe we didn't know.
Right.
And it was called unity. So we need to unify, my brother. Because
just thinking about everything that we talked about in that episode, not even just what was in the clip, but all the, for lack of better words, people that were taken out, that really struck a nerve with me, man, because when we covered Young Dolph the year before, he was the last person on a particular list that we were looking at involving rap artists who had been taken out by means of gun violence.
And by now, that list has
grown quite a bit.
Yep.
So when we shot that episode at the time, the last name on that list was PNB Rock. I don't even want to look at the list right now. I'm sure there's been at least one or two more added to it.
Maybe more than that.
I hope not.
It's more than that, man.
Dang.
We don't have to look at that.
No, we definitely won't look at it now. I'm sure we'll talk about it again in a future episode. I really don't want to, but it's just something that we gotta be mindful of as a community, yo.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of being mindful, the last clip that I want to throw out there comes from an episode that I enjoyed a lot because it was fellowship among the fellas. It wasn't only just the two of us, but we also had two special guests with us. I mean, all of our guests are special guests, but this one hit different because I actually took a segment out of this episode and made it as a YouTube clip that we got quite a bit of interaction on. So, this spoke to not only us, but some of our viewers who weren't even our viewers yet. So, shout out to episode 32, where we had Jareem and Winton, Play. We're so used to calling people by the names that we know them as. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Play. Shout out to Winton. This was a great episode, especially this clip right here. So check it out.
I just wanted to touch on another topic regarding the negative narrative, which is crazy because, first and foremost, we all know black men don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat. All right?
Facts.
Secondly, there's been a lot of talk going around lately, right? First, before I even get into this topic, I just want to let y'all know, for all the fellas that are listening, this is a safe space for us, right? This is a safe space. We are among brothers.
Yeah.
We can talk whatever we want to talk about, as long as we're not reckless with it. You understand?
For sure.
All right? So, there's a lot of talk that's been going around, especially some reckless talk, about how a lot of women no longer want to do wifely duties for their boyfriends because they're technically girlfriends. They're not wives yet.
Coming from where I'm sitting now, I'm not doing no more wifey shit. All right? You're getting the bare minimum. You're getting the bare minimum. And that's good enough. All right? And then you can unlock the rest. How exciting. You don't get to just have your cake and eat it too. You don't get to just have me do wifey things for you and not actually wife me up. Like, no, I'm not doing any more wife shit for anybody that's not ready to upgrade their subscription. Like, that's the way that it is. You either pay extra or you get the basic service. All right?
Which I understand. There's nothing completely wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with not wanting to do wifely duties at girlfriend prices. I get that. But what I don't get is, how do you not want to do wifely duties at girlfriend prices, but you still, and this is not all women, so just understand that, you still want your man to do husband duties at boyfriend prices?
Don't hurt me, because I know y'all like to tussle, especially when I back up men. But there's this one expression that just sits underneath my skin. Don't do wife duties at girlfriend prices. No one told you to do his laundry on a day-to-day basis. No one told you to clean his house on a day-to-day basis. No one told you to do the grocery shopping. No one told you to do none of that. No one told you to operate his business, none of that. But y'all run into cohabitation and then expect not to do anything in return? Y'all know cohabitation often kills a man's motivation to marry, right? Doesn't he have to show you that he's worthy of being your husband? Don't get me wrong. Yes, he should allow you to rest in your femininity. Yes, he should continue to pursue you. Yes, he should be consistent. Yes, he should still display wise leadership skills. But aren't those husband duties at boyfriend prices? You have to offer something. You have to show something. You have to offer love that's not limited to sex and simple dates and just an ear to listen.
I don't understand that. I don't get it.
What you mean? What you mean, like husband duties?
Well, for example, shout out to Cruise Season. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip, and they're going to go over some examples, and I want y'all's opinion on it.
Me and this guy are dating, and I mentioned to him that I'm waiting for marriage to have sex. The guy I'm dating says he is cool with that, and then he mentions that we should go Dutch when we go on dates because he is saving his money for his wife. What WTF? I told him that's not cool, that he will not spend money on me because I want to wait until marriage. He says that's not the case at all, but clarifies that just like sex, he should be a good steward with his money and reserve that for his wife. I think he follows you. Is he wrong?
No, he's not wrong. And then the first thing women will say is, that's different. How is my well-being a living? Because when I spend money on you, I'm taking from my own mouth, I'm taking from my pockets, I'm taking from my bills. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking from my responsibilities to make sure you happy. Hey, baby, look, hey, I'm just trying to be responsible with my cash like you being responsible with that.
That's hard. That is hard. So that's an example right there, right? It's not the only example, but that's just one of many examples out there of wanting to wait till marriage to do a husband duty for a girlfriend while you're only a boyfriend, right? We are always expected to pay for everything. And again, this is not with all women, not with all women, but for the most part, we are expected to pay for everything. And that's cool. We are the providers and the protectors. But without any reciprocation coming from whoever it is that we're courting or whoever it is that we're dating, what's the point? If I'm just solely taking care of you, if I'm solely going out with you, paying for dates, whether it's dinner dates or, you know, let's say we go to the movies or I take you to a concert or whatever the case may be, I'm paying for it, right? I'm working hard for my money and I'm putting my best foot forward to show you that I want to be with you. I want to invest in you, right? It's only right to want a return on our investment. So I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think it goes both ways. Just like that clip said, right? And those were the words of somebody who was asking them a question. Yeah. But I wholeheartedly agree. Like, there's nothing wrong with us not wanting to do husband duties at boyfriend prices if they don't want to do wifely duties at girlfriend prices.
Right. Well, I'm gonna ask my guest first because, you know, I'm a little bit kind of distant from the dating game and, you know, being in the girlfriend boyfriend phase, but I feel like y'all are maybe closer to that, you know, aspect right now in y'all lives. So what is y'all take on this whole thing and how do y'all respond to something like this?
Look, you want to take this place?
No, me, I'm ready. Man, I feel like this. I got two different answers. Okay. One is for what the girl was saying, and then the other one's for that video. So I feel like nowadays a lot of people put themselves in situations that they're not ready for. Like, let's be honest. How many people do you know that have a girlfriend and they live together? Y'all not married. So what are we talking about here? Who's gonna clean the dishes? Who's gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's like in a relationship, you gotta know what you're in it for before you get in it, because it's like, if you're not willing to be my wife or do things like a wife before you're even my wife, what makes you think I'm gonna make you my wife? But vice versa, if I'm not doing the same things as a man to where you want me to be your husband, like, what are we doing?
Right.
So with that other video though, I'll say, number one, I ain't no broke boy, so if I ask you out, I'm always gonna pay.
Okay.
At the same time, though, a lot of girls do expect that, and it's like, balance is good. if I say I'm gonna pay and I still see you pull out your card, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna make me more happy. Like, you know what? I definitely got you one a dessert, something like that. So
I feel that.
I feel like everybody just need to play their role. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people get in relationships and don't want to get farther, and then they don't understand why they can't find somebody or why the last one didn't work. So if you're gonna get in a relationship, do it for real. And that's me being 27 play, by the way, because I didn't always think like that. I'm 27 now, so
that's big facts.
That's jewels for me too, bro.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that, bro.
What's your take?
My fault.
No, you good though. You good though.
I mean, like, with the whole situation, I feel like as women expect men to meet a certain standard, and that's fine, but at what point is that mutual? Like you said, there's a balance when it comes to looking for a person and being that already. I feel like a lot of times people aren't prepared or mentally prepared or know what they want to even step inside of a relationship. So it's like you can't have these expectations and not meet the qualifications yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like as a man, we're required to provide, have our money, respect women, take care of them, all the whole shebang. You get what I'm saying? So how do you even, and I'm asking this for a woman's perspective, what would even be a standard to say that he's qualified to even be a candidate for you? You get what I'm saying? Because I mean, these are simple things for a man to possess at the end of the day. As long as you work and you handle yourself accordingly, all of this will come to you. You get what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
So I feel like it's a lot of things on this society that's been put down again with women, men and women not having a clear understanding of what they want ultimately.
Yeah.
But that's my take on it.
I agree. I definitely.
But I've been out of the game too. I'm in a relationship.
That's what's up.
I'm single, ladies. I'm
in there too, baby.
Follow me on Instagram.
Yo, so shout out to the fellas on this one, definitely. And shout out to the ladies too, because, you know, we did touch on certain topics, mainly the talk that's been going around, of course, as y'all have seen and heard, no wife duties at girlfriend prices, but also no husband duties at boyfriend prices.
Talk that talk.
That's something I've struggled with. I'm not going to lie. I've struggled with doing certain things for some people who definitely didn't deserve it. But lesson learned, man. It got me to this point, and I'm more cautious of how I move in relationships and how I move in dating nowadays, because I definitely want to give the best parts of me that I have left to my wife whenever I find her.
It's coming, brother.
All 2023.
You already know.
All right, it might not be 2023. It might be 2029, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So there y'all have it. Wrap up of the whole 2022 greatness. I'm gonna call it greatness that we bestowed upon y'all. And
that man getting philosophical on y'all.
I mean, sometimes you gotta throw a cornucopia of words out there for the people, man.
Who you think you are, T.I.?
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm just philosophical. Okay, I try. But yeah, man, we're grateful, man. We just wanted to share some of those moments that, you know, we had fun creating. So it's just a fun way to look back on what we've grown and how far we've come.
Expeditiously.
So yeah, man, you already know, man. But I think it's another what time is it being? I'm looking at my watch. I think it's a certain time. What time is it, man?
Hey, it's time to get into something that we have not actually gotten into in a while. But y'all already know it's that time for the question of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Well, y'all already know we give out the answers that you have blessed us with from the previous question of the week.
Yes, sir.
And actually, in the last episode that we recorded, we did not have any answers to that question, except for the ones that we gave with our special guest.
Yeah.
Shout out to Poetiana.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
For real. But this one, we definitely have quite a few. So, Mike, do you remember the question of the week from that episode?
So the question from that week was, if happiness was the national currency, what kind of work would make you rich?
Joe, that is a great question, man. And I don't think we gave our answers. I don't remember.
I'm not sure either.
But just in case, do you have an answer?
I think mine's would. I don't even know if this is a correct answer, but
come on, we already know there's no such thing as a correct answer when it comes to this. It's just here to make you think.
Okay, well, I mean, for me, it's encouraging people. That's the kind of work that I would give to people. I would give encouragement out. That's what I love to do. I think it's just in me to give to people. So some type of uplifting, encouraging work, inspirational. Yeah.
And you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that, man, because I know we've had a conversation recently about how we can incorporate more of that into the show.
Yes, sir.
Coming soon, ladies and gentlemen, coming soon.
Yeah, we're gonna cook up something for y'all, some special, a cornucopia of it as well.
Here we go again. All right. So my answer was shining my light on the world, like Umi said. And shout out to Mos Def if y'all know that song. Umi says. Yeah, man, that's my answer right there. Like shining my light on the world, like Umi said. And what I meant by that is just being a light to other people, helping people out of dark times. I guess you can kind of say encouraging.
Yeah.
Encouraging others, but not only just, encouraging with words, but encouraging with actions. I think that the work that I do right here on this podcast definitely speaks volumes, and it says a lot. It shows people, you, the viewers, what's possible. What's something that you're able to achieve just by starting and not giving up? Yeah. Because as you've seen and heard from these clips, man, we have come a long way. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, just shining my light on the world like Umi said.
Feel that, brother. So one of the answers that we got was from _PsychOasis. She said, dancing every day and being able to perform on stage. And then she also went more in depth.
For you people who would not understand what she meant by dancing every day and performing on stage, get your minds out the gutter.
She said, I used to train in ballet, contemporary, and tap every day as a teenager. And I missed the rigorous training and discipline I had. I also missed the thrill of performing with other like-minded creative dancers.
So shout out to all the dancers out there. I actually know a couple. Other than PsychOasis, one of them, shout out to Amber Nicole of the Nice Nasty podcast. And also shout out to Triple Threat Lex. And shout out to my homie, Misfit Blue. She's been dancing pretty much all her life. And anytime we used to go out and hang out in college and go to parties, with just a group of friends, man, she would always be the life of the party, just dancing. The whole crowd of people around us would just be watching her on the dance floor because she had the moves, man. Old school, new school, no rules, the whole nine. Yes, she did everything but break dance.
Amen.
I'm sure she can do that too because she's just that talented, yo.
Yes, probably.
So shout out to all the dancers out there, for real.
Yep.
Next up, for my fellow podcaster friend, the Roll Up Podcast.
The Roll Up.
His answer was, podcasting is where I belong. If my happiness could pay bills, I could pay off the entire world. That's major.
That's dope. That is. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So eloquently put.
Luckily, that wasn't a big word, so I'll give you that.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to expand the vocabulary in 2023. That's all,
This man going to start picking up a dictionary and
y'all can expect to hear some
reading out
words,
of a thesaurus.
Just wait. Let me think of some more. I'm going to give y'all some more.
You're going to be studying SAT words, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, got to. From this one, I have a couple answers. One of them, I didn't remember the name, but this one, I'm pretty sure this is from the person I'm thinking of. This one called me Tony right here. He said, inspiring the masses. And knowing that brother, he is extremely talented and gifted in so many things. I think he wants to just give so much to the world. And I could definitely see that. So this was from him saying inspiring the masses.
Shout out to him, man. He was also on one of our episodes with Sean Anderson. So he was in episode 30, And it was great to have him on here with us and chopping it up with us. And again, that was an episode where, another episode, because I did mention this for episode 32, but episode 30 was just an episode where we got to fellowship with the fellas, man. It was the two of us, and we had two other guys with us. We were able to chop it up as men and have a great conversation for all the other fellas who listen to us on a consistent basis. So shout out to Tony.
Yeah, and we definitely gonna bring a lot of those people back to like kind of like just recap and I think to see where they are today
and expound on certain lessons that we not only had then, but lessons that we'll have in the future.
Facts. So I do have one more. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who this person is, so I'm going to be honest. This person is unknown. But if you're hearing this, you probably know who you are. So if you want to write your name, be like, hey, that was me. Raise your hand. You know? That's all you got to do.
Raise your hand.
This person said building sustainable communities.
Wow.
Because they want to see a growth. They didn't say the last part, but I'm pretty sure that's what they wanted. But I feel that building sustainable communities. And, you know, we need that.
Yeah, we do,
especially in our community, man. So I applaud that person. That's very commendable for them.
For real.
Facts.
And last but not least, from Dre Slays, he said neuromuscular therapy.
This guy.
And that is his actual profession, man. That's what he went to school for. That's what he does for a living. And as he puts it, man, he likes to heal people with his hands. So
it's just coming from Dre. That's just so funny, bro. Bruh. Yo, man. I'm sorry, Dre. I just know you, brother. So it's just, that can go two ways. That can go two ways, man.
So, hey, shout out to Dre, man.
Shout out to Dre, man. Dre's dope, bro, for real. Oh, man. That was a good one. Whew.
So, yeah, man, definitely shout out to each and every single one of y'all who have answered the question of the week. We greatly appreciate y'all.
Yes.
And y'all didn't disappoint. You know, the previous question we didn't have any answers to, and this one, y'all hit us with a bunch of answers. So,
and it's weird because I thought this one was gonna actually be a little bit more challenging because it's worded so interesting. So,
yeah,
you know, I was definitely surprised with that.
And I was actually talking to somebody who gave her answer. Shout out to Psycho Oasis. She said that usually when we post these questions, she'll look at them and be like, dang, what's my answer to this? Like, you really have to think.
Yeah. So we did. We actually doing what we said we
And
do.
I told her, I was like, listen, that means we're doing our job because we set out to make y'all think when we ask you these questions.
Yeah, man.
So,
hey, man, and I'm going to just throw this in there too. I didn't even realize it, man, but people are noticing us. I was at work the other day and I saw a young man I used to mentor, and I hadn't seen him in years, and he was like, man, he's so happy to see me. But he was like, yo, I be seeing your podcast and stuff on TikTok and stuff, man. And it's just dope because he's like, yo, keep going. And it's just like, this is a young man. Like,
yeah.
And I just feel like we're having an impact on a generation of kids or people or young men or young women we don't even know yet. So it just was dope to hear that and just to get that reminder like, yo, we're doing something. We on the right track, man.
We are.
So.
And speaking of that, I completely, like, I didn't forget about this, but I didn't think I was going to mention it till you brought it up. But TikTok. Our TikTok is growing.
We taking. I don't know if that's right. Bruh. I felt like a dad when I said that, but it's all good.
This man with the dad jokes. He don't even have no kids yet, but you close. Well, let me not say that because
Whoa, brother, hold on. Wait a minute.
Let me not say that because I don't know what you and your wife have planned for the next few years. I would just say I said that because I think you're closer than me.
Yeah, but who knows?
Don't put that on me yet.
Hey, I'm just saying, brother.
I'm not gonna be a father until I'm a husband.
You right. Say that, bro. Talk that talk.
Unless I don't find a wife, I'm gonna adopt.
Okay.
Or I'll have a surrogate.
Okay, real talk. I feel that.
And be a single father.
Bruh. This guy.
Yeah,
I feel that. But I'm getting a dog first. Okay? I just want y'all to know that. First thing if I ever do is getting a dog. Okay.
But yeah, man, we got to cut it out with the dad jokes before we're actually dads.
Facts.
But with that, anyway, where I was going before you threw that out there, over the past weekend, bro, we had 12 followers on TikTok in one weekend. And for us, Now, I know for some of y'all out there who are TikTok creators, y'all are thriving on TikTok. That's nothing to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for us, with just a little more than 24 hours, we got 12 followers. That's major.
It is.
People were liking the videos that we posted. People were commenting. People were saving them to their favorites. And we don't have that often.
Nope.
They may do it on Instagram, but Instagram doesn't alert you when people save videos to their favorites. They don't alert us. We have to go and view the analytics to see if people saved them, but we don't even know who saved it. On TikTok, it shows you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it notifies you when somebody adds your video to their favorites. So just that means a lot because it shows us that we really are living up to our name, man. I mean, of course, other things have shown us that, but this in particular, like we weren't even really considering using TikTok at first. No. And then we got on just to promote the content because we weren't going to do any dances, any challenges, none of that.
Yep.
We just want to promote the content to people who might not be on Instagram, who might not be on YouTube.
Facts.
And I think it's working.
Oh, man, it definitely is, bro. More than what we even know. We just got to keep going. That's it. Just can't stop.
Won't stop.
Can't do it, bro. We gotta keep going.
Gotta keep going. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is our 2022 wrap up. We greatly appreciate each and every single one of you guys for tuning in. But before we go, since it is a brand new year, this is the very first episode that we are recording for the brand new year. Mike.
Yes, sir.
Where do you see us going for 2023? Where do you see us headed this year? What do you see for us?
I just see growth, man. I just see I see us really, really coming into who Residual Impact is and also solidifying it, and people really starting to see like, okay, that's Residual Impact. Like when they see us like, yo, that's Residual Impact right there. And I don't know, man. I definitely see the upgrade of equipment, definitely in our own space. And, you know, I try not to lead with this, but I definitely, you know, we'll be monetizing ourselves in some way, shape, or form. Money is going to come to us.
Yeah.
But it's just going to all be a residual impact of what we've already put out. I think we're going to put out so much stuff that's free that's like, man, I want to pay these guys now. Like, let me please let me pay y'all something. Because I feel like we've given it out.
Yeah.
And we don't mind giving it out. So that's what I see, brother.
Yeah, for real, man. That's definitely something that I see as well. But on top of that, yo, like you said, man, just living up to the name and establishing who Residual Impact is. Like, and people realizing that.
Yeah.
Realize that it's not only the brand, but when they see us and know like, yo, those are them boys from Residual Impact.
Yeah.
Like, we know Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah.
People gonna look at us and say the same thing, man.
No, most definitely, brother. We just gotta keep going, man. Keep remembering these times of where we were and where we started at. Cause sometimes we can get into the grind so much that I know for me, I forget about how far we've come.
Yeah.
So it'd be dope when I be seeing you putting these videos together. Cause I be like, dang, bro, we've done something.
Yeah, we have.
Think about it, bro. We've come far from, yo, hey, you think about starting a podcast? So it's interesting, bro. So,
and that's another thing that I see for us this year. I'm gonna teach you how to put out that content. We're gonna change some things. How the content looks. We're gonna change how we present it to you guys. And I'm sure there's some things that I don't know when it comes to putting content together. Some stuff that you might learn before me. You know, I mean, there's going to be so much that we're going to be able to just not only think about, but learn.
Yeah.
As an entity, as a brand. And we're just going to be able to be like, you know what? This is how we're going to be able to give you guys the message that we're putting behind each and every single episode, each and every single video, each and every single live. I see us going live way more this year. We did it once successfully on IG Live last year. Shout out to the guests that we had, Beards and White Toes and the Roll Up Podcast. And then we also did it once successfully on YouTube. You remember that was a hassle.
Yeah, almost definitely.
But this year, I see us going live way more and tapping into a new audience that we weren't able to tap into before.
For sure. It's all going to happen, man. It's all going to happen in its right time, man.
A lot is coming this year in 2023, not only from us, but we expect a lot from you guys. So stay tuned. You'll see the growth. You'll see the progress. And we look forward to seeing a change in y'all.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing the impact that we make on y'all as a whole to just change the community, change the world.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, Mike, we have one more thing. I know I said the last thing was one more thing, but we actually forgot something. We gave the answers of the week, but we didn't give a question.
Yeah.
What question do we have for the people before we conclude today, my brother?
So the question for this week is, what is something you don't like to do that you are still really good at? Ooh.
Hey, I have an answer to that. A matter of fact, the next time when we go over the questions, I'll probably give a different answer. But one thing I will say that is something that I don't like to do that I'm still really good at is lying. And I know that sounds kind of bad, but hear me out.
I knew it, y'all.
Hear me out.
This whole time.
But one thing I'm really good at, especially in relationships, is surprising people.
Mm.
And not just like dating relationships, but any type of interpersonal relationship that I have with other people. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at surprises. Mike has mentioned in a previous episode when I bought all the new recording equipment, he had no idea that I had it.
I didn't.
And when I brought it to, the studio,
I was like, yo.
I had it for like 2 or 3 weeks at that time.
I said, Mama, we made it.
Mama.
I definitely didn't know at all.
And I'd played it off. Like I played it off as if I had no idea we were getting equipment. Like literally the episode before episode 40, so 39, we had a conversation. I think, Mike, you said something about, I keep seeing the microphones that we're going to get. And you was like, should I tell them what microphones we're going to get? I was like, you could tell them. You could tell them. Little did you know, I already had it. I already had the mics. Like you been spoken into existence. I'd been, I bought it. I had it. It was just at the crib chilling.
This guy.
So I'm good at surprises. I'm good at surprising my mother. For her birthday, I just bought a brand new iPhone. So shout out to Mom Dukes. She's been wanting a new phone for years. She's had the same phone for almost 5 years. Like this upcoming Mother's Day would have been 5 years. Hey, so I bought her a new phone for her birthday.
That's how you do it, man.
Yeah, man.
She got her money's worth.
She was shocked. Like she had no idea. And she was going to buy it for herself months ago. And I convinced her not to. I said something to convince her not to. It was like, just wait till the next one. The next one's going to be much, much better. It might be, but we never know.
No, you never know. It ain't no iPhone. There's going to be small little upgrades. They already got the next 5 planned, but they know what they doing, bro. Bruh. At this point.
But yeah, man, that was a surprise. So I would say lying is something that I'm good at doing, but mostly for the right reasons. I try my hardest not to lie for the wrong reasons now.
Right.
Sometimes I still do it, but I'm good at it, and I really don't like to do it, but I am good at it.
I understand, brother. For me, if I had to give an answer, I would just say landscaping. It's something that I kind of like to do. I really don't like to do it as like a business, but I'm really good at it. Like I've actually created a landscaping business to where I've got offered thousands of dollars to do like whole neighborhoods and stuff like that. But it's just something that long term, it's a lot of hard labor that I don't care to do. Now my own spot, when I get my own crib, that's gonna be plush. But to do it as
then when I get my own house too, I'm gonna just hop on the phone and be like, yo.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it is a source of income that I know I can always
for free. Call them up for free.
I swear, you gotta just draw the line there, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But you know what I'm saying, that's just something that I can do very well. I don't always like to do it, but I'm really, really good at it. So yeah, man.
I dig that.
Yeah, for sure.
So let us know your answers, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all already know how to leave the answers. IG, YouTube, TikTok, or email us if you're old school. Y'all know where to find us. And if you don't, check the link in the bio. I've always wanted to say that.
This guy. But you can, though.
Yeah, for real. You can. Check the link in the bio. For real, for real. It has all of what you need in the bio.
What you need.
All right. We're not going to go over that. But, hey, y'all know we can't live without saying.
Where you are today is a residual outcome of the thoughts that you had in the past. Come on, player.
Straight like that.
Thank y'all. For real.
For real. Hopefully y'all have an amazing new year because we already know that we're about that. Yes, sir. Until next time. Peace.